Opening your eyes. If you have them closed, coming back, welcome. So we are in week number 9. Glad that you are continuing. Even if you have had any bumps, today we'll really be talking about on the subject of energy, right? And we all have energy that goes up and down, but there's things that we can do. The time in our lives may be limited, right? We only have 24 hours, but the energy, actually, we have access to unlimited energy. And there's simple, small things that we can do with our body and on our energy. So in the week 9, we'll talk about balancing with taste and touch, and we'll also talk about how to maintain and increase the energy. So if you took the quiz that we had, 2 quizzes that we had talked about last week, the Prakriti, which gave you what were you born with, what's your natural state of balance, and your Vikriti, which gave you ideas on where you may be out of your balance right now. So if you haven't taken it, we'll again share the links. And after you took the second quiz, the Vikriti, you got some numbers, some results. So I'll help you sort of make a little sense of it and how it connects with balancing. So from your Vikriti quiz, you would have received, numbers in the body area, right? Different numbers here. And one of them will be higher. That's the one you're looking for. If your numbers, the highest number here and the number here for the mind is different, that means that's also a sign that you're out of balance. So as an example, depending on what's going on in your life, your Vata will be higher out of the 3 that you have, or your Pitta will be higher, or your Kapha will be higher. And this is the result of how you're feeling and what you answered on the body side of things. So the simple message here is to look for the highest number, whichever one it is, Vata, Pitta, or Kapha, and to balance your body. The 2 ways you can use simple techniques is on touch and taste that our guest speakers will be touching on today. Obviously, we'll go into a lot more detailed in our next Introduction to Holistic Health course, but we'll give you some basics today. Also, at the end, I'll share with you a blog post, which also starts touching on how to. So the quotes I have for us today is on these 2 topics. Is the first one is that every human being is the author of his or her own health and disease. And as an example, with the touch, one of the ways we can balance ourselves, one of the ways we can work with our bodies is by massage. So it can be self-massage, it can be someone else massaging, but simple thing like putting oil right after, before, or after you take shower, as an example, can give you that layer of defense, right? And keep our joints lubricated. Again, things that we know, right? But maybe this is the time that we are open, we realize that this is what I need to do. And then the second one I have is on the taste or food or nutrition, is that let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. And a wonderful Ayurvedic saying is that when your digestive fire is strong, you can turn poison into nectar, right? We can think of when we're young or when our bodies are in good shape, we can, go like last night. I was at a party, I ate, knowing that the food was not good, but it tasted good. Because my body is able to handle it, I said, okay, that's fine. I can. Matter of fact, I had one of the most wonderful weeks this week out of all the weeks, because one week, the goals that I had set, 4 times I was at the gym, 4 times I did Pilates, something new that I started, and I'm feeling good, right? So my digestive fire is strong. And now I'm going and have a wonderful, nice fruit shake, and I'll balance it back. And versus when our digestive fire is weak, right? You can have the best foods, right? Almonds, milk, or the best things that you can buy. However, if your body can't digest it, then it's poison to the body. So again, both of these are giving messages or reminders to us that it is up to us on the choices we make. So with that, let's do a little bit of a stretching, and we'll do a little pranayama. So especially if you're feeling low in energy, on the topic of energy, tapping is one of the wonderful things that can help us increase our energy. So let's find a nice standing posture. Go left to right, plant our feet. Let's bring ourselves into what we call centered or grounding by simply scanning our body from our head, slowly scanning down, going to the middle part, through our waist, legs, bringing our awareness to our feet, similarly scanning from our toes towards our heels, touching every little part, skin coming alive to whatever's under you, your socks, your soles of your slippers, shoes, carpet, floor, whatever's under, connect with that. Now feeling centered, feeling grounded, feeling present, watching the breathing that's going on again. Let's take one simple stretch of bringing palms in front of us, as slow as you can, raising it up, breathing, bringing it up with a slight pause. Make it your own stretch, whatever feels right in this moment. And breathing out, let go of whatever's not needed. Then slight pause. Let's bring our palms in front of us, flat palm or a fist, starting from our fingers, tap intuitively. Your inside of the arms, shoulders, back of the arms, continue down towards the other palm. Spend less or more time listening to your body. Know that you're waking up your body. You are letting go of any tension, stress, anxiety, worry, and you're increasing the energy because the flow of energy is increasing. So one simple way you can do anytime you're feeling low in energy, simply tap. And we can do many different parts of the body. Given limited time, I'm only doing upper body. But you can do next week, we'll touch on chakras. And lastly, let's kind of shake it off. Arms up and down, letting go. Or breathing in. And let go. So hopefully your body is buzzing, you're a little more awake. Let's come back to our chairs. And let's review, or we'll do again, the pranayama. Pranayama, again, as a reminder, is practice of breath controls. There's many pranayamas. One of them that we had touched on during our sleep week was the alternate nostril breathing that can be done 2 different ways with a slight variation. So starting with that, let's bring our thumb and number 1, close off the right nostril with the right thumb. Breathe in, deeply inhale through the left nostril. Second, at the peak of the inhalation, take any one of your fingers or the 4th finger, close off the left nostril and lift off the right nostril, or right thumb. and exhale. Number 3, take a full inhalation through the right nostril. Close it off again with the right tongue. Open the left nostril, releasing the finger. Exhale. Breathe in from the left nostril. Close it off with one of the fingers, the fourth finger. Opening up the right. Let's continue this at your own pace for about 30 seconds or a minute. So again, breathing in. Closing. Exhaling. The slight variation you can do between the two styles is whether you hold on after you inhale or not. So it's up to you. You can take that pause, make it longer, or simply inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, you can let go. Continue on the regular breathing. So again, this is pranayama to help you balance. There's many pranayamas. We'll touch, one of our speakers will touch on another kind of pranayamas. Just like depending on what we need, the message here is we can use techniques to either calm us down, balance us, just the way this alternate nostril breathing did, or we can increase the energy. So with that, we again have the pleasure of two wonderful guest speakers, Lilenia and Molly, and I'll have them share and introduce themselves and take us through today's topics.
Of course. Hello, Jess and Molly and everybody out there. I am Lilenia. I am a Chopra Health, a meditation and wellness coach. I'm also a dancer, and I love the somatic healing of Ayurveda, the touch, taste, smell, all of it. I'm really happy to be here sharing with you. I have a business called Every Day for Everybody, which shares tools and tips to bring joy and celebration into your life every day for everybody. And there's always the right moment to start living in joy and celebration. Nothing can stop you. So I'm excited to be here with you this morning.
Lovely, thank you. And my name is Molly Hayden. I am a completely mentally and physically transformed individual as a result of 12 years of learning everything I could about brain health and heart health. And now with Ayurveda, it's that complete cycle for me. I came from a very stressful advertising and communications background where I needed to implement a lot of these healthy practices in order to sustain my energy and also to manage stress of not only myself, but of those around me as well. So I now teach Ayurveda, and my goal is to help people decrease their stress and optimize their sleep and health and have a better prioritization of self in their daily routines. So I always start with a photo. So this is my breakfast these days. I would say that 6-7 years ago, I'd be grabbing a muffin that somebody else made, and I'd be eating it in transit or whilst checking emails. These days, I've realized that the power that I feed myself is in fact the food that I feed myself. So this is an amazing recipe from a book called Eat, Feel Fresh, All Ayurvedic Alkaline Diets. And it's a pumpkin oatmeal with figs and pumpkin seeds with some soy milk. So you may say, why am I spending so much time on this? Because it doesn't look necessarily appealing, but it is. And it also powers me for the day that I'm actually not hungry until 1 o'clock. So while most of my colleagues would be racing for snacks at 11:30, and they'd be devouring their food in such an incredibly fast pace. My body was like, thank you, I'm good. My brain was good. It had fuel. So this is where, in the scope of what we're talking about today, is finding energy and maintaining your energy throughout the day and then throughout your life. So we're going to focus on nutrition. One of the things we have learned in Ayurveda is about the energy in the body. There's a very simple expression, which you will now hopefully repeat to yourself when you're about to eat dinner at 9 o'clock at night. The expression is eat late, gain weight, eat right, be light. Now, the light doesn't necessarily mean that you are light in your weight in total. It means that you are light in your being. So we're going to now talk about what's termed as AGNI, which AGNI is your digestive fire. So when we think, Jazz was saying about eating at a party, Jazz, I'm so glad you get invited to a party, but because I'm a vegan, gluten-free individual, I never get invited to parties anymore because I'm too high maintenance. But eating and having that digestive fire does mean that you are taking the food, gorgeous edible foods, like this is one of my favorites from a restaurant locally. You are giving all these phytonutrients, and your body is able to break down fresh food so much easier than it is in any processed food. And our health depends on our digestion. So if we are giving it too little, too much, not the right components, we are not feeling ourselves properly. So I want to go to the fourth point here, where it says, when our digestive fire is strong and healthy, we can easily digest food and experiences. I'll get to the experiences in a second. We extract our greatest level of nourishment from our diet. And from that, we get what's called ojas, which is it's like the nectar of goodness within our body. Our body needs ojas. It needs the nourishment. When we don't, we get something called ama. So the idea is to prioritize the food that we eat so that our bodies can function in a more whole and balanced way. So now when we talk about Agni, so we always look at, I think we sometimes don't look at the inside. So here in the top line, you have, if we have strong Agni, digestive fire, we get the subtle nourishment from all the food that we feed, which is ojas, and that goes straight into any of our circulatory channels. So that's capillaries, the blood vessels, the arteries. When you're making that an easier time for digestion, it means that those things aren't clogged. Think about why people are saying, please don't eat fried food, please don't eat fast food, please don't eat high amounts of animal fat. It's because our bodies can't digest it. Naturally, we're not designed to digest it easily, and it gets stuck in those circulatory channels. It's why the fat globules sit in arteries and complicates, and it leads to heart issue. So when we give our bodies easier things to digest, we get ojas and everything works properly. On the flip side, down at the bottom here, when we're giving ourselves poor food, our digestion is not good, which means it's weak. Then that leads to ama, which is toxic residue. That is what goes into your circulatory channel. So when you have a choice between what you want to feed your body, you want to feed things that are going to yield an ojas, because your whole brain body complex will actually feel better as a result of that. And let me just show you what that looks like. I'm going to focus on the positive, so left-hand side of the screen, because that's more my nature. So for any of you that feel rested upon awakening, your skin has a healthy glow. Your tongue health, which is when you first wake up, you can look at it, it's pink and clear. Your body feels light, again, just a lightness of movement, and you are centered throughout the day. Your digestion is good and regular. You feel energized and enthusiastic. Your mind is clear. Your body has a pleasant smell, and you rarely get sick. That means you are taking care of yourself. Your body is rewarding you for prioritizing it. On the flip side, this is where ama comes in. So this is where bad breath, because again, digestion is off, coated tongue because your digestion is off. Your dull appetite, usually because you're not on a regular cycle. Delicate digestion, it means that your Agni is not good. Generalized pain, we see a lot more inflammation in people with AMA, fatigue, depression, susceptibility to infections, your sluggish elimination, and difficulty manifesting intentions. Anyone who is constantly fatigued and depressed doesn't always manifest their intentions. So when you look at those two, I think Ojas is the better way to go. And I'm a walking example of that because I may not be the lightest person in the world weight-wise, but I am light upon awakening. My joints move, my energy is good. I'm annoyingly energetic in the morning without caffeine, without sugar, because of the combination of how I'm feeding my body and then again, how I prioritize my sleep. So when you now are inspired to think about Ojas and what you want to do to bring that into your life, the first thing we say is make sure you are eating the rainbow. So
Hey, Molly,
yes, go ahead.
sorry to pause you. Could you just check if there's people waiting? Got a message.
Sorry. Yes. That's on my other screen. Sorry. It should be good. There was just one person.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So why do we eat the rainbow? Natural food gives you the full spectrum of nutrients. We know that there are antioxidants in the deeper pigmented foods, and it's also more visually appealing. So if I were to put fried chicken and fries in front of you versus this, visually, this is more appealing because of the color. When we eat, it should be, we're eating for our bodies. We're not eating for a quick fix. I think what's happened to all of us is we have gone to what's easy, what's available in the grocery store, what has the least amount of time to prepare. But there are better ways to choose on a restaurant menu that you can consciously now look at your plates and be like, am I seeing the rainbow? And I am super guilty of a lot of the times I'll make my meals and I will not see the rainbow and I'll just hurl a blueberry at it just to complete the color wheel. But it is about the nutrients, the phytochemicals that you are getting from the natural plants and vegetables to help your diet. So why are we eating like that? It's because they are protective. They have disease preventing properties in them. You'll notice a lot of times people who take a lot of vitamins, it's usually because they're not eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. The more fruits and vegetables you eat, the less likely it is that you'll need supplements. Nature provides for you if you are making the right choices in food. You're also decreasing risk of cancer and heart disease because every heart health diet is about lean proteins, vegetables, every plant-based diets. And you'll start to see this more and more as I think we've got a 20 to 30-year-old generation who are adopting the Jane diet, adopting vegan. This is the way to properly feed ourselves and also to help protect the climate. And then the next one is one of my favorites, so I'm going to slow down on this one. This is eating with mindfulness. So when we eat, it shouldn't be quickly. We should look at our hunger cues before you begin eating. The instinct is that you are going to eat your food as quickly as possible because you're starving, right? But your stomach doesn't actually send the signal to the brain that it's full until 20 minutes afterwards. So you run the risk of really overeating. So by taking your time to eat, you'll be aware of those hunger cues. Again, using foods that are representative of the rainbow and eat when your Agni is the strongest. So you should be eating your biggest meals during the day when you are more active and your digestion has more power to break it down. In the evening, the suggestion is to eat a smaller meal. So again, eat late, gain weight, eat right, be light. And then eating in a calm, restful, beautiful environment as best as you can also sends signals to the central nervous system that you're calm. So when you're eating and you're calm, you're not sending signals that you're under stress. And this is why we really encourage people not to sit on the couch and watch TV, particularly the bad news that's on today, or just generally, sorry, I'm going to admit somebody, or generally, like if you're watching a Netflix series that's about murder and drug use, that is emotional ama that you are digesting. So when you think about what's around you, people-wise, content-wise, noise-wise, if it's affecting you, it's going to affect how your body's receiving the food. So calm and quiet and slow is the way to go. So other than that, we recommend avoiding ice cold beverages. That shocks the system. And then when you are done with your food, just sit with it and relax. And then we do recommend that you walk a little or do something rather than just go straight to the couch. Your body's looking for activity to help digest. So the mindful eating practices, I think, is one of the best ways to get your digestion, to get this ojas in a better light. Because if you're sending signals that you're in a calm, restful, slow environment, then your digestion isn't under stress and your body's not under stress. So that's a really important one that I've learned a lot from. And I think, I hope that now you will continue to sort of look at your environment when you eat your meal, in daytime or evening, but really important to be mindful. And I will say on the next slide, a little tip of mine is, let's go to enlivening health. So again, fruit and vegetables look beautiful because of their color. They're designed for what we want to eat. So keep your AGNI strong, include the 6 tastes and 7 colors at every meal, 6 tastes being salty, pungent, astringent, bitter. There's 2 others that I'm not remembering right now, but I'll come back to that. And eat mindfully, tune into your body, and notice when your body is feeling right when you're eating. That's when it's sending signals to you. And my greatest tip is eating one meal in silence at least once a week. I try to do it more often. And in that practice, don't have your phone nearby. Don't have reading materials nearby. Sit, you are grateful for the food, express some gratitude, and be quiet within your own mind, within your own body. And you'll notice the experience of eating, you actually are slowing down. It feels almost like sometimes it's a bit of a meditation in the experience of eating in silence. Many Buddhists do it. So try it and see how you feel. It's I get great benefit from it, and I hope you do as well. So without further ado, Lenanya, will pass it over to you.
Hello. Yes. Now I'm hungry. Well, along with taste, touch has a lot to do with our rest and restore system. And the way that we take in the nutrients have a lot to do with our rest and restore system. So let's go to the next slide for a second. So we have this thing called the vagus nerve in our system. You can see it on this slide. It's like these, this nerve that goes down. It looks like roots through your whole body. It's the longest nerve in your entire body, and it goes from your brain to all your organs, all the way down to your gut. So when you are relaxed and rested and restored and in a healthy, balanced state of being, the nerve endings of the vagus nerve that are in your gut will actually be able to take in the nutrients of all this lovely, healthy, vibrant food that you're eating. And it'll take that into all of your organs and into your brain. So if you ever feel like you have brain fog, or it doesn't matter what you're eating because you're not really getting the nutrients, you're still sluggish, your joints are aching, or you're just like struggling in the mornings and kind of throughout your day, it's a really good idea to take a moment and analyze where you are in your nervous system. Are you in the sympathetic nervous system where you are in a fight or flight or freeze system? Are you in a moment of still processing a trauma mentally, physically, spiritually? Or are you able to switch that into your parasympathetic nervous system and access this vagus nerve to relax and really get into healing? Most Americans today, because of our culture, we are in such a fight or flight that we feel like we have to constantly push through. And there's nothing to push through. Let's just get over that. There's no perfection and there's nothing to push through. We are in this moment all together, and this moment can be created however we feel is accurate to bring us into balance at that moment. So by pushing through, it's like you're ignoring a huge part of yourself and your life. Instead of pushing through, I invite to sit within and listen. And when we sit within and listen to what our intuitive body has to say to us, then we go from this fight or flight or freeze and into healing, into asking, okay, gut, you're not feeling good today. What is it that you need from me today? I hear you. I'm with you. How can we be more present in this moment? And just by asking those questions to your body, you are inviting it to start healing and inviting it to go into this rest and restore of the vagus nerve. So this nerve is rest and digest. They call it the wandering nerve because it wanders through all of your organs. It's the longest nerve in your body. And it has that brain, gut, and neuroimmune axis. So what that means is if you look down in the gut area of the vagus nerve, think about it like roots from a plant. So the plant's roots will go down in the soil and grab all the nutrients and minerals it needs to bring it up into the stem of the plant and the leaves and the branches and eventually blossom into the fruit or the flower. So that's the same thing with this vagus nerve. When it's accurately imbalanced and working for your body, it reaches down into your gut and pulls the nutrients it needs from the fuel, from your food. And it takes that into all of your organs and it takes it up to your brain. So when we are in balance, this nerve is relaxed and doing what nature intended it to do. It also helps your entire body to be anti-inflammatory when it's in a relaxed mode. So there's a lot of science showing, if you want to go to the next slide. One more. There's a lot of science that have been proven in the last 10 to 15 years about how having the vagus nerve in this balanced homeostasis way is anti-inflammatory. It really helps you with your metabolism. It helps you with your weight. It helps your thyroid. It helps your heart health. It helps your brain health. So they're still finding out new studies about what this vagus nerve actually does, but just in the small 15 years of research, they have found that it's a huge component of our motivation. When we have a healthy acting vagus nerve, we have more motivation to live a joyful life. We have more optimism. We have more joy in our life because we're not struggling through our daily digestion of all the things we take in emotionally and physically. Can you go back one more? So as you can see here, just to really help understand what this vagus nerve does, it shows here on the slide, all the organs that it really branches into. So it's a major component of our life. It it goes all the way down your spinal cord. It goes into your intestines, your colons, your liver, the lungs, up to your brain, like I said. So just take a moment and just feel into this in your body. So I invite you to close your eyes for a second and take a nice deep breath. And visualize that vagus nerve within your body. Acknowledge it. And send gratitude. And invite a healthy relationship with your nerves. And exhale, gently open your eyes. Nice. So just by inviting the body to start healing, we're opening up the self-care rituals, you know? And by the pranayama we did earlier with Jas and other techniques, we invite our body to start listening to the intuitive self within. There's also self-massage, abhyanga, physical exercise, and meditation. Those are just four techniques that the ancient Ayurveda gurus found to help us stay in balance within our mind, body, and spirit. And they're easy. They don't cost anything. You don't have to go anywhere, and they can be as quick or as long as you have time for. So we're going to go into a pranayama that's called Ujjayi breath. And this, you're probably familiar with it if you have taken any type of yoga classes. It's the typical yoga breath. And what it does is it helps to balance and access your thyroid, which maintains your metabolism. It also creates a state of calm within your mind, body, and spirit, and it helps your digestion. If you have been meditating and doing any type of pranayama through this 12-week program so far, you probably have noticed that you are more in tune with your digestion. And because when we are coming into balance, into the parasympathetic nervous system and into that vagus nerve, as I said, all of a sudden, you're going to have that digestive fire that flows easier. That AGNI is going to ignite and give you the nutrients that you want. And if you even think about when you start a fire, when you're going camping, you start a fire, and what do you need? You need air. You need to push the air into the fire to get it started. If you have no room for air, there's no fire. So really, by bringing breath, conscious breath into our body, we're creating that appetite for life. We're creating room for growth. We're creating room for change in a healthy way. So how do we do this Ujjayi breath? So what you're going to do is you're going to keep it between your nose and your chest here. You're not going to be doing these big belly breathing, but what you're going to be doing is keeping your lower belly engaged, pulling your lower belly in a little bit to keep your form. And then we're going to drop the chin down a little bit, and we're going to make a ha sound. So everyone just open your eyes for a minute and go ha. So as we're doing that ha sound, we want to keep that in our throat. So our mouth is going to be closed, and try like that Darth Vader type of or ocean sound. Go. Good. So I know sometimes, like if you go to a yoga class and you're new to it, you might get a little embarrassed to make really loud sounds. But right now you're in your own space. So really experiment with making that sound really vibrant and resonant within your space. We also, as we're doing it, we want to lift our pelvic floor. So you're just going to imagine that your pelvic floor is like a big straw, and you're sucking up all the nutrients from the earth into your body cavity, and then hold it there. So you keep that energy locked within you. And as we do this, you can think about the inhale and the exhale like a big roller coaster. As you inhale, you're not going to hold the breath, but it's just going to flow on top of the roller coaster and then drop. And at the bottom, it builds that energy again, floats up and drops. So instead of coming up with the breath and holding it and then letting it drop and holding it and up, we're going to kind of create this like harmonious, balanced breath that just kind of comes up, holds, and drops, and holds, and up. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's try that together. When you're doing this on your daily practice, try to do about 10 rounds to really feel the benefit. So we're going to inhale for 4, let it roller coaster up, and drop, exhale for 4. So lift your pelvic floor, tighten your lower belly, drop your chin a bit, closing your eyes, either looking up at your third eye, or you can gently keep your eyes open and look at the tip of your nose, whichever is more comfortable for you. And begin to breathe in and out of your nose. Inhale. Exhale. And one more. And gently release and open your eyes. For me, whenever I do that, everything just feels and visually clearer instantly. So this is really great for kapha. If you have a lot of phlegm, kapha kind of can get stuck in the mud. So if you are a kapha and you just feel kind of like stuck in the mud and you get phlegmy and congested, this is a really great one to like clear out that mud of the mind and the phlegm and the mud of the joints. So it's really great. But for any dosha, this is a great one just to balance and create sustainable energy, because when you're balanced, you have sustainable energy. You're not fighting against yourself. All right. So another self-care technique is the self-massage, abhyanga. So this is also an Ayurvedic ancient Indian wisdom of keeping your mind, body, spirit in balance. Because touch lets us know that we're nourished. It lets us know that we're safe. It lets us know that we're loved. And it lets us know that everything is fine. Because realistically, no matter what's happening in your life, we're going to get through this and it's going to be fine. And if we can remember that no matter what is happening, then it reminds us to give ourselves a little hug sometimes. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to get through this. Everything's going to be fine. Better than fine. Make it better than we can ever imagine. It's okay, right? But what we do is we end up touching ourselves. We end up giving ourselves some touch to reassure ourselves. And so this abhyanga massage is a really great thing to incorporate into your week. I typically do it every Sunday. Every Sunday is my self-care day, but if you have time and motivation to do it 2 to 3 times a week, or even every day, your skin is going to love you and be youthful and young even longer. So those are some of the visual benefits of actually we want to, feel and look younger. But it doesn't only keep our body from aging as quickly. It also just nourishes us. Like I said, it lubricates your joints. It increases circulation. It assists in elimination of impurities in the body. It gets rid of toxins. It calms the nerves. It gets you into that rest and restore. It helps you sleep better. Every time I do this, I sleep so good and I wake up refreshed. It also can help your hair grow, and it can help your muscles tighten, and it just enhances in general your stability and balance and well-being. So how do we do it? So what we do is you get some oil. So I don't have any oil with me today, but we're going to pretend. So you get a little bit of oil. I usually have it in a glass jar. And then you heat up some water. You don't want to boil it. You just want it to be nice and heated. And then put the glass jar in the basin of warm water to warm up the oil. And then you're going to do this with me. So we're going to pretend right now all together that we're doing this. So you get your little bottle that's warmed up and you put some in your hand. And then we're going to rub it in our hand. Keep it all nice and warm. Nice. And then I usually start with the face or the head, depending on what I'm feeling in that moment. So right now we're going to start with the face. We're going to take that oil and just gently rub it in circular, gentle motions on your cheekbones. And then around the eye socket, nice little circles. And on the forehead. And down underneath the chin, going side to side on the chin, and then little circles, and then little mustache area on the nose. Good. And then we're going to go to the ears, and you're going to take your index and kind of go up and down. You're going to be like a little race car around your ears and go race car around the little track in there with your finger. Maybe you need a little bit more oil. Let's get a little more oil. There you go. And then we're going to put it in our ear. And then take the thumb and massage behind the ear. And we can pull the ears out like Dumbo, up like Spock, down like Buddha. Good. And then we're going to take the fingertips and just start massaging the back of the neck, right where the spine and the skull hit, right where that vagus nerve comes up, massaging that. And then we're going to come up onto our head and really in circular motion, start to massage the oil into your scalp. And this will help with your hair growth. And actually, it started taking my gray away, which is great. So get it all in there. And when you do this, you want to keep it on for at least a minimum of 15 minutes before you go take a shower. And when I do my Sunday self-care routines, I actually just leave it on all night and then take a shower in the morning. So that really gets time to soak in. All right, and then we're going to bring it down. So when you're doing your body with the oil, when you're on your muscles, you want to keep it like long motions. And you actually want to bring it up towards your heart. You're bringing it in towards your heart. And when you get to your joints, you want to do circular type of round movements. So with me, just kind of do this all over your body, bringing the energy towards your heart. And this can be your meditation. So we're going to use that as our meditation today. So you can close your eyes and just do what your body needs to, nourishing it and giving gratitude to your heart, to your stomach. When you go to your stomach area, you want it to be in clockwise motion to work with your digestion. Thank you, digestion. Thank you, vagus nerve, for bringing up the nourishment of the good food I'm bringing it to your heart. Thank you, arms, for letting me do all the things and creative things I love to do. And then you can, if you want to stand up with me, you can go into our back. Thank you, kidneys and liver. All the way down, round on the hips. The hips are a joint. Bringing it all up. And your skin is going to thank you because it's all oily. Lovely. And then, you can do this for as long as you want. It feels really great. And then to end it, you do your hands and your feet. When you do your hands, we have all these ligaments and all these bones that help us grab things and move things and be creative and make things. Give gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for working. I don't have to think about you. You just work. It's amazing. All these things that our hands do for us. And our feet too. So you've seen people like play piano and guitar with their feet. Our feet can do amazing things that we don't even know because we've never tried. But, give gratitude. Thank you for keeping me balanced. That is something they do every day. They keep us balanced and they let us walk and do this journey of life. So you want to massage those. And then when you're finished, put a towel or a robe around you and just hang out. You can do another meditation. You can read. You can just be in silence for about 15 minutes. And then take a warm bath or shower. And when you take the shower, you don't want to put a lot of shampoo. You want to just and you don't want to put a lot of soap either. Just a little bit in the areas you need it. And just the oils do the things that they need to do. You don't need to, overly cleanse it. The oils are cleansing and nourishing in themselves. So I hope you at least try this weekend and let us know if you like it. If you had any experiences you want to share, please share them with us. And if you're Vata or Kapha or Pitta, it's really great to do this. I'm tridoshic, so I love it. When I'm feeling like stuck in the mud and I'm stuck in my imbalance of Kapha, this just reminds me to like waken up and lighten up. It's all right. And then when I feel like I have too much going on in my mind and I'm like running around like crazy, this helps me ground. And there's different oils you can use, but in general, jojoba oil is great for any dosha. So that's what I recommend. Jojoba oil to get started. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you. And then with regards to oils by dosha type, most people can just Google it because there are oils that are specific to doshas that are dominant, right? You're a unique.
Yeah, actually, so Pitta dosha, sunflower oil or coconut oil. However, I have found that a couple of my clients find that coconut oil doesn't work for them for some reason. I love coconut oil. But Vata has sesame or almond, works really great for them, and Kapha sunflower oil. So those are 3 different oils that you can experiment with depending on your dosha.
Thanks. All right, Jazz.
So in the closing, I'd like to invite you again to let's take some action. So if you can take a minute to write down something that you learned today that you will do. So let's bring our notebooks, our diaries, and let's take 30 seconds to write down even one or few words on something that you picked up that you will do starting today. So as an example, I already put it in the chat. Molly, that was a beautiful reminder. Eat once a week. I think I can do that.
In silence?
In silence. In silence, yes.
Because if you eat once a week, I'm not sure that's going to be very good for your digest.
That's the golden word. Eat in silence. And then the second one was to, I love the part about instead of pushing through the day, be gentle, be in the moment. And again, if you are resisting writing it down, many studies have shown by us writing it down, it connects with something in the brain. Some circuits happen, whether we commit or it becomes that when this happens, I will do this, and it will be a less resistance in your brain. All right. Excellent. So yes, please also share with us in the chat. I already see, yes, eat once a week in silence. We'll try to eat without TV and body. And the second, yes, body massage. I love, I know self, Bianca, but the way Lelenia, you did it. I loved it, going through every little part and with gratitude. I love the part when you also said that be a meditation or meditation afterwards. Just thanking the heart, thanking each body part. So that was also beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. So in the closing, yes, please share with us in the chat. Like I said, if you've taken the quiz, there's a lot more we will cover in the next course. If you want some immediate, I have some blog posts where one of them related to this is balancing with touch. I'll have that in the email as well. And similarly, I'll share the link here in the chat for balancing with taste, right? So the point here is take the quizzes that will give you an idea of where you're out of balance. Start to notice when I eat something like this, does it get me out of balance? And Ayurveda's principles is to bring the opposite. So when you will go to this link that I just shared, you will see that for your natural state of balance, as an example, you may have certain foods that are that you love, that your comfort foods, right, that keep you in balance. However, if you are out of balance, that may not be the best thing to eat. So you'll see different foods, different tastes. And in coming weeks, next week's come back, we will touch on balancing your mind. We have a wonderful chakra meditation. We'll talk about that, and we'll see you next week. And remember to go back to your purpose statement, week 1, because that is your compass. That is your North Star. Go back to your values and stay committed to your goals. Check in, even if you have fallen off, that's okay. Be gentle, just like how you would have been with a friend who may be going through a hard time or maybe missed doing something that they said. Come back and let's stay connected, and we'll see you next week. Coaches, if you want to give your website and information, and please share how people can get in touch with you, whether it's a dosha consultation or anything else that you would like to, that you offer.
Yeah, so my name is Lalenia, like I said, and my company is Every Day for Everybody. And you can find that on Instagram or everydayforeverybody.com. And reach out if you want some meditations. I have some free meditations on Insight Timer. And anything you need, just reach out. I'm here to help you find balance and joy.